look at ancient artifacts, a clay tablet, a mysterious disc, or a lump of corroded bronze, we see puzzles. But what if the artifact isn't just one puzzle? What if the secrets held by history's most enigmatic objects are actually four fundamentally different types of challenges? We often use the term hidden message imprecisely. A message in a lost language is a lost secret. A message in a code is a guarded secret. The tools you use to break one are useless against the other. Today, we're establishing a new framework, a taxonomy of ancient secrecy, to finally understand what we're confronting before we even ask, what does it say? We are diving into the four profound ways our ancestors chose to communicate, to hide, or sometimes just to lose their most valuable knowledge. The four secrets are: 1. Intentional secrets, messages meant to be hidden. 2. Lost languages, messages forgotten by time. 3. Enigmatic texts, the baffling question of intent. 4. Technological messages, blueprints of lost knowledge. Let's begin with the most deliberate deceptions of the ancient world. Ancient people were not naive. They were masters of sophisticated secrecy, driven by the same motives we have today: war, love, and money. First up is steganography, the art of hiding the existence of a message. It's a physical veil, making the message invisible to the casual observer. The Greek historian Herodotus provides classic examples. Imagine the sheer audacity of Hystaius shaving a trusted slave's head, tattooing a secret message onto the scalp, and then waiting for the hair to grow back. The slave looked like a normal messenger until he reached the recipient, who shaved his head to reveal the text. Even more famous, Demaratus needed to warn Sparta of Xerxes' invasion. He took a common wax writing tablet, scraped off the wax, wrote the warning directly onto the wooden surface, and then recovered it with a fresh, blank layer of wax. The guards checked the tablet, it appeared blank, and the warning passed right under their noses. But hiding the existence of a message is only half the battle. The true cognitive leap came with cryptography. Meet the Spartan Scytale, CC 7th century BC. This was a strip of parchment wrapped spirally around a cylindrical rod of a specific diameter. The message was written along the length. When unwound, the letters were completely jumbled. Only a recipient with a rod of the identical diameter could realign the letters and read the command. The size of the rod was the private key. But the most profound intentional secret isn't military. It's a piece of ancient industrial espionage, the Mesopotamian glaze recipe from 1500 BC. This clay tablet contains an encrypted text, a craftsman deliberately scrambling his formula for pottery glaze to protect a commercially valuable trade secret. This single artifact pushes the history of intellectual property protection back by millennia, proving that protecting economic advantage is a fundamentally ancient motive for cryptography. These are the echoes of deliberate minds. But what happens when the intent is clear, but the culture is gone? This category is less about puzzles and more about tragedy. These messages were written in plain sight, but the entire cultural and linguistic system that created them simply vanished. Our first stop is the Vinca Old European symbols, CC 5300 to 3500 BC. Found in Southeast Europe, these marks are staggeringly old. Some may predate the Proto-Sumerian script, usually considered the world's oldest writing, by over 1,000 years. The debate is fierce. Are they true writing, able to record grammar and syntax, or proto-writing, marks for limited concepts like ownership or religion? The consensus leans towards a highly complex proto-writing system. They are a snapshot of the human brain at the very precipice of inventing true writing. Next, the Indus Valley Script, CC 2800 to 1900 BC. This massive urban civilization, spanning modern-day Pakistan and India, left thousands of inscriptions, mostly on small stamp seals used for trade and administration. Yet it remains entirely undeciphered due to three intractable problems. Extremely short inscriptions. Most texts are only 4 to 5 symbols long, insufficient data for pattern analysis. No Rosetta Stone. No bilingual text has ever been found. Unknown language. The underlying Harappan language is lost, possibly a language isolate.
Now we travel to ancient Crete, home of the Minoans, and the linear A, linear B paradox. Linear B, the successor script, was deciphered in the 1950s and proven to be Mycenaean Greek. Since linear A is the parent script, we can apply the phonetic values of linear B back to the symbols of linear A. Here's the paradox. We can pronounce the linear A script, but the resulting words belong to an unknown Minoan language we cannot understand. We have the sound, but not the meaning. This is a data-rich problem, and researchers are now using deep neural networks, AI, to try and find a related sister language that might hold the key. Contrast that with the Phaistos disk, c. 2nd millennium BC. This is a single circular clay disk covered in 242 unique symbols stamped in a spiral. Scholars warn that because it is a hapax legomenon, a unique instance, the corpus is far too small to be reliably deciphered. Any proposed decipherment is built on a stack of unverifiable assumptions. The disk's message is one of caution. It teaches us the limits of historical science. Finally, the ultimate linguistic tragedy. Rongo-rongo from Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Recent radiocarbon dating in 2024 delivered a bombshell. One tablet dates to 1493 to 1509. This is over 200 years before the first European arrival, proving that Rongo-rongo is one of the few independent inventions of writing in human history. But this independent birth was extinguished by cultural catastrophe. Peruvian slave raids and disease in the 1860s decimated the population, and the last people who knew how to read the script were lost. Most experts believe it was a complex mnemonic device, glyphs that served as cues for long sacred oral chants. Because those oral traditions are extinct, the script is impossible to read. We witnessed the stillbirth of writing. The third category contains the biggest magnets for conspiracy theories, because here the central question is not what does it say, but is it even real? The challenge is determining the creator's intent. The poster child is the Voynich manuscript, c. early 14th century. This 240-page codex is filled with bizarre illustrations and written in an elegant yet unknown script called Voynichese. Scholars are trapped between four possibilities: a cipher, a lost natural language, a constructed language, or the most common theory, an elaborate hoax, meaning meaningless, asymmic writing. What complicates the hoax theory is its structure. Statistical analyses show the text is not random gibberish. It follows linguistic patterns, like Zipf's law, meaning it's too structured to be random, but too bizarre to be a simple cipher. It is an intellectual honey trap. In 2018, AI analysis suggested the language was most likely Hebrew, using a complex cipher system. Though controversial, this demonstrates the desperation to solve this riddle. The most likely answer is that it is a masterpiece of a hoax, a riddle so perfectly constructed that it challenges our very definition of what a message is. We see this question of intent again with the Rohan Codex, the Hungarian Voynich. While proponents try to link it to ancient languages, recent computer analysis provides a damning clue for the hoax theory. Researchers identified a recurring symbol used to mark word breaks at the end of a line, essentially a hyphen for line justification. This is not an ancient scribal convention. It's familiar in handwritten texts from the 16th to 19th centuries, pointing firmly to the era of its suspected forger.
In our final category, the hidden message is not text, but the artifact's very existence. These technological anomalies force us to completely rewrite our linear timeline of progress. The ultimate example is the Antikythera Mechanism, occurred between the 2nd century BC and the 1st century BC. Discovered in a shipwreck, this corroded lump of bronze was revealed through advanced CT scanning to be the world's oldest known analog computer. It was a hand-powered orrery containing more than 30 interlocking precision-cut gears. By turning a knob, the user could calculate and display the positions of the sun, moon, and the 5 known planets. The real hidden message is the mechanical blueprint in the gears themselves. The ratios track astronomical cycles of staggering complexity. The 19-year Metonic cycle, the 76-year Kallipic cycle, and the 223-month Saros cycle, which was used to predict eclipses. Crucially, the mechanism is not a cipher. The CT scans revealed thousands of tiny Greek inscriptions on the dials and doors, essentially an instruction manual, explicitly naming the cycles it tracks. The technological message is that our ancestors were far more advanced than we previously believed. This single artifact proves that our view of history is fundamentally wrong. Our final enigma is the Baghdad Battery between 250 BC and 640 AD. This terracotta pot, containing a rolled copper cylinder and an iron rod sealed with asphalt, is, chemically, a galvanic cell. If filled with an acidic electrolyte like vinegar or grape juice, replicas produce up to 2 volts. The question is, did they use it? Theory 1. Electroplating, used for gilding silver objects with gold. Plausible, but archaeologists haven't found definitive electroplated objects from the period. Theory 2. Medical electrotherapy. Ancient cultures used electric fish for pain relief. This theory suggests the battery was a man-made substitute for the electric fish, perhaps to numb pain from headaches or gout, possibly applied via acupuncture needles. However, the most probable answer, supported by mainstream archaeology, is far more mundane. Similar vessels found in the region were sacred scroll jars. Decaying papyrus scrolls would create a mildly acidic residue, perfectly explaining the acid corrosion on the iron rod, the very evidence battery proponents point to. The Baghdad Battery teaches us the difference between what is plausible and what is probable based on archaeological context. We began by organizing these artifacts into a taxonomy of secrets. What we discovered is that they are not just random relics, they are echoes of lost minds. The Spartan Scytale and the Mesopotamian glaze recipe are the echoes of deliberate minds, concerned with privacy, commerce, and warfare. The Indus Script and Rongo-rongo are the echoes of forgotten minds, representing the tragic loss of entire cultures and worldviews. The Voynich Manuscript is the echo of a baffling mind, an intellectual honey trap, blurring the line between genius and hoax. And the Antikythera Mechanism is the echo of an underestimated mind,
a blueprint proving that our own ancestors could compute the cosmos with gears. The real history beyond known history is not a sensational claim of aliens or lost continents. It is the realization that the past is not simple. It is a complex, locked filing cabinet, and only by using the right analytical key can we hope to unlock the secrets left behind by the brilliant, tragic, and often deliberately deceptive minds of the ancient world. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to Beyond Known History for more deep dives into the hidden corners of the past.